Good morning, you guys. So this is the start of week 5. I didn't record any in week 4. So I just want to update you guys. And now that 4 weeks have passed, I just kind of want to share with you that I feel like I'm at a new turning point. Hindsight, looking at the past 4 weeks, and just want to share with you like the 2 steps that I didn't realize I needed, that I realize now, and I'm going to start putting into play. And I think this is just another turning point for me. So last week, week 4 was first week of 2023, and we were off of work Monday. So I was just kind of like, all right, I'm just going to skip the gym and then talk myself into just taking the whole week off. I haven't done that in a long time. So it was kind of nice just to take the week off. And on top of that, I ate so much junk food. My husband and I were like, okay, last day, let's have a good meal. We had pizza and we had french fries, and then he's been doing good. But then I've been like, okay, one more last day. And I just kind of got to where, I mean, you can see like, I can see a big difference just in the past 2 weeks of the way I look and the way I feel and how my clothes fit. And it's just like, yesterday I had french fries and chicken fingers, and just like I've just been overeating, and I've been eating junk food. So it's been not the best past week for me. But I was kind of thinking about like, now all of that has like, all of the past 4 weeks has happened, and now it's like kind of, I've been doing a lot of mindset shifting, and I think it's finally happening. So I wanted to share with you guys basically how that goes. So first, like all of the videos I've posted since the first one, when I was like, okay, this is my turning point video, I realized like just about every single video has really been all just about growth mindset, having a growth mindset. And that's why I guess I'm always like, this is it. This is, the secret is this. And all of it has just been about growth mindset. So it's like, okay, I've really got to switch my mindset. And you do that, or I did that, or I am doing that by pouring myself into all of these things that just basically it's reconditioning my mind over and over again. To think differently, to look at things differently, to change my perspective and my beliefs. And I've been wanting to do that really since, I thought I kind of already did from the first video I posted December last year. I thought I was already kind of doing that. And it's been hard because it's like, okay, this is it. This is what I got to do. And then the week goes and I'm like, trying to do it, but like, I'm not really getting that mindset shift that I wanted. And so I realized like I have to just like pour myself into all of these videos, and like YouTube videos, podcasts, books, and pour myself into them. And I've been like kind of trying like, okay, I know I need to listen to this, because the more I listen to this and hear these inspirational people talk, the more it's going to change my mindset. And like I am like, I'll start it and then go do something else, and then overall looking back, I haven't really done it. Well, backtrack, I realize now that the first step is that I need to have the motivation for it. I need to really feel the need to dive into the mindset shift. Like, we only do things when we realize how important they are. And even though like I consciously know how important it is, it's been hard for me to just want to do it. Same thing with like eating. When I am eating healthy and all that good stuff, and I'm losing weight and keeping it off, it's because I want to eat healthy, not because I'm making myself. Well, that's how, oddly enough, that's how this mindset shift has been. It's been like, I know I need to, like, come on, make yourself watch this whole video, but I just haven't wanted to. So I need to find the need first. I need to make it super important first. And I don't recommend this to anyone because it's, it's not healthy, but this is the way I do it. And this is what I've done before. Like all last week, ate all the junk food, didn't work out. And as bad as that makes it, all of last week has just been like not really me being in the best place, because it's constant how my big clothes, you know, the big ones that you feel comfortable in, are tight. All of the bigger size stuff that I bought are tight. Like even the way I'm like moving around and the way clothes fit, seeing myself in the mirror, seeing myself on FaceTime, like it's just constant all throughout the week, all these little things. Like, yeah, it did make me feel kind of bad about myself. But I had to kind of like knock myself out of it by like saying, come on, Shalina, go through it. Like fight through it. And so like all of those things, even though it didn't feel nice, has gave me like that, like, okay, I have to pour myself into these videos. Like I can't do this anymore. I have to pour myself into figuring this stuff out. And so the past week of kind of letting myself go to that place and realizing how much I am uncomfortable with these things just has pushed me to like really start pouring into figuring out and into conditioning myself to get this growth mindset. And like eating all of the food, feeling all bloated, all of that stuff. It's like, you know, normally the past year I've been gaining weight, but I've been just comfortable enough that I wasn't like, okay, I have to do something about this. Like I said, I have to do something about this. Like I knew I did, but I didn't really feel it, because it was kind of like, oh, you know, it won't take that long. I can still do this. It's not that bad. It's just kind of where I set my standard, and I let my standard kind of get up higher because I'm happy in life. I'm comfortable in life. So I let my standard kind of where my health wise, where I want my health and fitness to be, I let that standard kind of drop. And so now that I'm like, I don't even want to get on the scale, because I'm probably above my highest weight. I'm probably at my highest weight ever, probably above 196. That was my highest weight. So it's just like letting it get this bad, because, you know, what happens is when I'm comfortable and I'm happy, I get in denial. Like, it's not that bad. You know, my clothes are a little tight, but I'll get it off. And it's just not, I'm not making the need so strong. Whereas now the need is strong, and it's like, okay. And I don't want to let it get back there anymore. I have to like get my standard back to, actually, I want to get my standard to where I stay pretty lean. I've never been very lean. I got down to like, I think 120 one time, but I wasn't lean. It was kind of like I didn't have much muscle, so it was a little bit of a flabby. I want to be toned, and I want that to be my standard, and I've got to get it there. So anyway, so this weekend I was eating my junk food. It's Monday. I just got back from the gym. But this weekend I was eating my junk food, and I was like, okay, I've got to change this. So even while I was eating my junk food, I started watching like these YouTube videos, researching podcasts, researching books that I want to read, like listen to on Audible. And I can already feel my mindset shifting. I was thinking like, okay, let me just like pour myself into this, you know, conditioning of my mind and changing my changing my mindset for 2 days, and then I'll get going. Well, it's been 2 days, and it's going to have to be a constant thing always. Because I remember before I was like, I used to watch motivational videos every morning, and it would kind of keep me, but after a while, all the motivational videos are kind of like the same. When you hear all of them, they all kind of become the same and have the same little things, and they just don't hit as hard. So now I've got to arm myself with like podcasts, books, and I've got to, you know, not ever let that go. That was one thing that I actually did follow through with, was going to the gym. I remember saying to myself, I can't ever let the gym go. That's got to be my anchor. Well, keeping my mindset in the right place has got to be an anchor for me too. That's something I can never let go of, because I see what happens. And I remember when I first started gaining weight, I was eating cheesecakes, and I remember just like loving how the cheesecake tasted, and enjoying it. And that's where my mindset started shifting from, you know, all of that kind of happened at the same time. That's where my mindset started shifting. And sorry, you guys, my phone ran out of memory, so I had to redo it all. But that's where I started like really shifting my mindset back the other way. I wasn't listening to my motivational videos. I started to look at food differently, like started to enjoy it more, and look at it just a lot differently. So yeah, so I'm sorry, I kind of forgot where I left off at. But so I'm going to continue like pouring myself into these podcasts, and I want to share this podcast with you guys. Like these two guys, like everything they talk about was just like all the stuff I believe. Like I like feel like, yes, like that's exactly what I'm saying. Like absolutely awesome. It's Nick Barr, and he has a guest called Sal. His name is Sal DiStefano on there. And this was when I was like, didn't really feel the need for like the growth mindset and didn't really feel the importance of it. I knew there was like good tidbits because I saw like a short like reel on there, and I was like, ooh, this is going to be good. And I knew I needed to watch it, but I didn't feel the need for it because I would like start watching it and then kind of like go do something else. And then as I've like continued to let myself feel the pain of how much weight I've gained and really acknowledge it, as I've continued to do that, then it's like, okay, I have to watch this whole thing in its entirety. And everything on there is absolutely amazing. Started getting me going, and now I'm like researching my podcasts and my books and my YouTube videos. So I'm starting to get it going again, and it feels good because it's like, ugh. But one of the things that they said, so like the mindset thing here, these are the things that I'm really like researching about, because this is just kind of what is appealing to me, I guess. The first thing is loving the journey, because I've talked about that a million times. Like it's really about loving the process, and that's what's going to keep me doing it lifelong, is loving the process. Studying about weight loss, studying about who I want to be, like what kind of person I want to be, like really just that like self-help, self-improvement area. Stuff about my career, you know, having fulfillment in my career, success kind of podcasts, entrepreneur kind of podcasts, and also like stuff about like self-love, because, you know, the more I pour myself into all of those four things, the more the self-love kind of comes into play. And it's just more me creating who I want to be versus like passively watching my life unfold, if that makes sense. So back to this podcast that I wanted to share with you guys. This podcast with Sal DiStefano, he talked about, this was a big aha moment for me. So Nick Barr was saying, they were talking about how you have to love the journey. Sal DiStefano was like, you know, a man who loves to walk will walk a lot further than the man who loves the destination. And Nick Barr was saying, yeah, he had done a marathon and then he signed up for another marathon. And I thought, you know, if he did one, why would he sign up for another one? You only sign up for another one if you actually just love the journey. If you love the sucking at something, making progress throughout the way, and then, you know, the success at the end is just a side effect. And I've said that before. You know, when I love the process, the weight loss, all that stuff is just a side effect. When I love the workout, when I love the diet, all of that is just a side effect. And it made me realize, like, that's what's different about me, is even though I consciously know it, I'm still like every single video I've made, or every single like weight loss journey I've made, I've kind of like gone through the process, loved the journey, and then I'm like, okay, I did it. I'm 135. Okay, I did it. Like, but that's loving the destination. And it made me realize, oh, I love the destination, because every time I do it, I'm like, oh, hey, I did it. For him, it's like he's in love with the journey. So it's like he did one and he's ready for another one. He wants to go through the whole process again of not knowing how to do it, figuring it out, all of that stuff, being, you know, new at something. I was like, wow, like that's where I need to be. So I started dissecting everything again. And I was thinking about like, okay, so what makes you love something? And then I've had to reverse it. So, you know, loving food. I don't know if I like would say that I love food, but I could do it forever. Probably like eating junk food, overeating, all of this stuff. It's so easy because I probably love it. It feels like, you know, the weight gain and all that stuff is just a side effect because I probably just love it. Okay, so let me break down like, why do I love the food? And it was like, okay, it tastes good. It's something like relaxing when I'm like stressed or tired. It's like, oh, you know, let's get some food and put on a good movie. It's like relaxing, comforting, the satisfaction of the taste of like good food. Every time I eat it, every time, sorry, I'm like reading it and remembering what I wanted to say. But like every time I eat, all of that stuff is reaffirmed. All those things that I enjoy about it are reaffirmed. Like, oh yes, this does taste good. Oh gosh, I needed this. And with repetition, things become more ingrained and cemented. So every time I eat like some meal that I enjoy, I'm falling in love with it, and it's repeating and repeating. And the more it happens, the more I guess I fall in love with it. So I was like, okay, so how do I reverse this? Now, since especially for this past week, I overate, I ate a bunch of junk food, and I had to like, instead of saying, oh yes, this tastes so good, which of course is going to happen a little bit, but I have to like sit in the, oh, I feel so full. Oh, I feel so bloated, and associate negative things with the foods I'm eating. The digestion's harder. It's uncomfortable. Look how my clothes feel. Like it, instead of only seeing all the enjoyment part of it, seeing all of the negative that it brings me. So that's me reassociating. And then, so how do I fall in love with this diet? Every time I feel something good from this diet, I can reaffirm it. Like, you know, wow, I feel, oh, I even wrote them down. Wow, I feel so much lighter. My stomach has gone down. Like right now, my stomach feels so bloated that like today's day one. So we're going to see how things go. Not day one, but today I'm going to really like change the diet because I ate junk food all weekend. So I'm going to like over the next 3 days, it takes 3 days for something to like completely pass through my system. So all the junk food I ate won't completely be out of my system until Thursday. So by Thursday, hopefully it'll be, wow, my stomach feels so much lighter. I have so much more energy. My clothes are fitting. Things about like my body, like just feeling like my stomach's poking out so much has gone down. All of those little things, more energy, better overall mood, all of that kind of stuff. I'm just going to reiterate like every time I feel good from my diet and from the gym, reiterate it. So I'm falling in love with a diet and the exercise versus falling in love with eating junk food and overeating. So I'm going to try and like flop them. So we'll see how that goes. And also I'm going to continue to like pour myself into this growth mindset stuff and switch my mindset, because it's not, I thought like, okay, let me lay it on thick these 2 days and hopefully it'll be a good switch. But I'm going to need to pour myself into it all week and continue, but I want to really go hard with it this week, pouring myself into this growth mindset and get my mind back on track. Let me see, what else did I have on here? Yeah, I guess that's really it. Just pouring myself into this and seeing how it goes. So it's not that the past 4 weeks are all for naught. The past 4 weeks has been really, for me, highlighting the need to pour into this growth mindset, to actually take the action. And the growth mindset only comes after repetition, daily repetition. Same thing with falling in love with food, daily repetition and reaffirming, oh, this is good, this makes me feel good. Same thing with pouring myself into the growth mindset. Like I already feel so much better and excited to like fall in love with the journey. That's something that it just hit me today when this morning at the gym, when he was talking about, you know, oh, he's going to sign up for another marathon because he loves the journey. And that's, I'm going to like fall in love with that by like just looking at the journey from being where I am now, where I'm overweight, and going through the process of like, this is it, me figuring it out. I'm sharing it with you guys and making videos every time I figure something out, and every time it doesn't go the way I planned, and, you know, like realizing like the joy comes from being able to figure it out. Like the joy comes from being able to say, look, I don't want to say figured it out like the end destination, but figured it out like, okay, you know, each step gets me a little bit closer and a little bit closer. And yeah, so this is it. And just, I guess, just like reiterating to myself about this part of the stuff. Like, this is what I enjoy, you know, like this is the good stuff, so that the weight loss and stuff is just a side effect. Like, this is the fun part. And so when I do lose weight, it'll be like him wanting to have another marathon. So when I get down to a certain shape that I want to be at, well, what's something new that I can challenge myself with? Whether it be like doing a competition, or I guess it doesn't really always have to be health and fitness. But I don't know, maybe it does, like finding some new exercises to be a newbie at and try again. I don't ever do barbell squats and barbell deadlifts and stuff like that. So maybe that can be something new that I'm like, oh, this is a new journey for me to start on. And I'm really having to like work on that, because right now I still feel oh, I just want to get to where I'm good at it. Oh, I just want to get to where I weigh 115, you know? So it's a process of me learning to fall in love with the journey. Like, you know, I'm just gonna have to keep reiterating and finding out what I enjoy about the right now, today, and learning things. So anyways, sorry this is such a long video, but thanks for letting me talk to you guys, and I hope you guys are having a great day and a great start to your year. I think I'm going to start posting these this week, so I'm excited to hear from you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.